Hi guys, welcome back. I just wanted to do a quick little video that was requested regarding liquidations and basically how I got started. So I wanted to do some screen shares and kind of walk you through some of the more common liquidation sites and kind of talk about the different types of liquidation and also just my general overview on them and my general experience. So how I got started was literally just Googling liquidation and just diving in from there. I remember my first place that I ever bought from was this place. And I also want to say I am not telling you to buy from any of these. I'm simply using these sites as examples and giving you my experience and things that I've learned in hopes that you guys can kind of hear my journey with it and just get a general overview. So just wanted to put that in there. So this was the very first site that I found on Google. And what I learned from going on this site and then a few others is that a lot of liquidation sites stick to one to maybe a few places that they source from. So this place, I ended up finding out that they source directly from Macy's. So they're getting Macy's liquidation. How you can start to find out just by doing a little detective work is looking at the manifest and looking at the kind of brands that they're buying and trying to identify, oh, is there a specific brand that is only sold at X place? So for example, when I was looking at this website and I ended up getting just like their general lot. And one of the brands that stood out to me was INC. Now I know that that brand is only sold at Macy's. So it was easy to deduce that these lots were coming from Macy's. And as I kept looking and looking at the different brands and Karen Scott, I don't know if Karen Scott is exclusive to Macy's, just the INC was the one that gave it away for me, but just looking at it all together as a whole, it let me know, okay, these are Macy's lots. What I will say positive about this website is that the lots that I purchased, I rarely received any damaged items, because kind of what's inferred when you're getting into liquidations is that you're going to get some damage. Now you can minimize that depending on the type of lot that you buy, and we'll get into that. So a lot of places don't have an itemized manifest. They just give you a high level overview, as this one does. They tell you the brands typically included, but not limited to. So you could literally get all of one brand and then just like one or two of the other, or a mix. Here it's saying you get jeans, tops, pants, jackets, shorts, skirts, suits, dresses, and more. It could be heavy on one category and lighter on the other. There's no guarantee. So again, being that this was my first experience, I was naive to think that it was just going to be a perfect mix of everything. But when I got it, it was heavy on Karen Scott and a lot of styling company, and it was a lot of tops, and some of it just a really outdated type of stuff. I got a lot of Charter Club as well. I was hoping to get Nike and Ralph Lauren and Calvin Klein and some other brands, and I got heavy on the other stuff. So there's no guarantee. From that point on, I basically started to do only manifested lots. Manifested lots means that you get to know exactly what's in there before you buy it. And those do because you are checking the manifest, and they have a manifest available. They're typically, not always, a little bit pricier. So we'll get back to this one real quick. Liquidation General, they don't have manifests. They just have where they're giving you the general idea of what you're getting. And an example, and I believe this is like very similar to a lot that I bought, because I do remember it being around $500. I got 100 pieces. So obviously it works out to $6.45 per piece. I believe this place has free shipping. Yes. And that's a big one. A lot of times when you're ordering, you need to make sure how much the shipping is going to be and where it's coming from and in relation to you. Because if they are charging, when it's something really heavy, if it's coming from across the country, obviously it's going to be way more expensive than if it's coming from your own state. That was another mistake that I made one time, getting just a general shipping quote, and then I found out the place was coming from Florida and I'm in California. So these are mistakes I made. So make sure where the lot is coming from and how much it's going to cost. So just looking at this website, you guys are obviously welcome to take your time and look around to all the different categories that they sell in. So when you Google liquidation here, one of the first ones, actually always the first one that comes up is liquidation.com. The liquidation.com I also bought a lot from. I ended up buying a lot from liquidation.com when I first started. The thing with liquidation.com, it is a auction site. And so the things that you're bidding on, they're coming from different places. Like Liquidation General, it's its own company. You're buying from Liquidation General. Liquidation.com, it's like an eBay. It's like an eBay for liquidation sellers. So this one is, let's just look at this one. He's selling iPhone X, and this one's out of California, but it will be its own, just like you have your eBay user ID, they have theirs. And this guy's name is Direct Tech. So some of these do have manifests. You have to click on it and see what it is. Okay, so these are iPhone X. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. So here on liquidation.com, you can get a shipping quote. So make sure if you are interested in any of the lots from here that you're getting a shipping quote, and it's generally under here. Get a quote right here. Now, I ended up finding a certain seller that I ended up having a lot of luck with. And the reason I ended up having a lot of luck with them is because I was searching for certain brands. So let's just say we're going to search Tory Burch and see what comes up. One of the biggest sellers on liquidation.com is a seller called Sourced from Amazon. And they basically are selling all of Amazon's returns. So when you start selling on Amazon and you wonder where your stuff goes, sometimes it goes to the black hole and no one knows where it is and you get paid out. Well, it goes somewhere. And a lot of the times those returns, they stack up and Amazon sells them. So I don't know that this is actually Amazon or maybe just a middleman that gets stuff from Amazon. The good thing about them is that they do manifest you pretty accurately. So here they have, when you click on it, you can see that they have all of the retail price and the total price of quantity and the product name. So just clicking on view manifest. So anyways, what I was saying before is I had searched Tory Burch, searched a few items. I ended up finding a seller. I don't see him on here anymore, but that particular seller, I could tell that they were Nordstrom liquidations because there were certain Nordstrom in-house brands that were on the manifest, like Lush and BP. And I knew that those were only sold at Nordstrom. So I started buying from that. My learning experience from that place, though, is if you're familiar with Nordstrom returns, they're very, very lax. They basically will take almost anything back, and that they do. I can vouch for that. I would get bras that were literally caked in deodorant. I know that's totally not cool and disgusting, but that was because I was getting lots that were returns. So on that note, Let's talk about the different kinds. So see here under condition, it says returns. So the main ones you're going to get is customer returns, overstock, shelf pulls, and just past season. Once in a while, you'll get brand new inbox. For whatever reason, they bought it and it never even made it to the floor. That's kind of rare, and those will be a little bit more expensive, but you will get that. The most risky is returns. It's the most risky, but the biggest reward as well, because the returns, they're generally the cheapest, but you can get a great lot with some amazing things. So I learned through the Nordstrom liquidations, like, yeah, a lot of them, sometimes I would just get things that were way too used, but in the long run, I was getting at least a few amazing gems in each lot, which made it so much worth it. But you're kind of knowing that okay, if it's coming with 50 pieces, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, 15 I'm not going to be able to use or save. At least you're kind of like going in your mind like, okay, there's a buffer, a variance there that I'm not going to be able to use. So that's kind of inferred with returns. Overstock and shelf pulls are pretty safe. I mean, they've been on the floor, so they can have damage from being tried on. If it's something like electronics or in a box, it could have been handled. It could have been dropped. It may not be in the Amazon new condition, but eBay new condition. So those are the different types. So when you're buying lots, just to sum it up from this point, make sure you're checking on the shipping in relation to how much is going to cost in relation to how far the location is. Checking the conditions. Is it returns? Is it shelf pull? Is it overstocks? Is it past season? Is it new? Checking that. If there's a manifest available, checking the manifest and seeing if that's an itemized manifest. Checking to see if that's something that you're interested in. If I'm looking for lots for Amazon or even eBay, but I'm more of the time I'm looking for Amazon. When I look at the manifest, if there's a UPC available, I click on the manifest, I highlight the UPC, and I plop it into my Amazon seller app to see if that item is ranking and if it's a good rank. And I kind of do that copy and paste over to from the manifest to Amazon to make a determination overall if that's a good lot or not. And all of it is time consuming. I always say there's no easy way to resell. All of it's hard. You have to pick your hard and see which one suits you best. Thrifting is amazing because it is a low barrier to entry, because it's a low cost. And you can cherry pick. So you're out there and you're cherry picking each item. The con is that it's very, very time consuming. It's very hard to scale. And also, depending on your area, maybe you're not finding the quantity and or quality that you need. So that can be in itself a barrier. With liquidation, there's that risk involved. And if you're used to thrifting and cherry picking, or even doing RA or OA, retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, now you're going to not being able to cherry pick kind of feels like you're giving up a little bit of control. That's the con. The pro is that it's coming to your doorstep. It's coming to your doorstep. You're not out there on foot. So as if with everything, you have to weigh the pros and cons. And obviously with the liquidation, it's going to tend to be a lot more expensive than thrifting. But doesn't mean you have to go all in and spend thousands of dollars. Just looking at that liquidation general lot, like I started it must have been like 4 or 5 years ago when I started. I think that same lot was $500. So I started with $500, and then I kind of learned from there. The other site that I started on, which is also one of the other sites that pops right up on the first page if you Google liquidations, is bulk.com. Now bulk.com gets all their stuff from Target. Again, just doing the detective work, looking at the items that they sell. How I knew it was Target was because I saw the brand Heyday And if you guys shop at Target, it's kind of like their in-house brand for like, I think I got a lot of Heyday phone cases, and I knew that that was from Target. So, and it doesn't say on here, but you can see. What I do like about bulk.com is that they are constantly putting in new lots. They are constantly putting them on sale, and they do provide manifests. Here's one of those ones I was talking about that's new, case new. That's pretty rare. So let's take a look at that one. So it's 72 items. It is 41 pounds. It is telling you what the shipping is. So I remember bulk.com was great for the shipping, especially when you're first starting, because they tell you what it is and it's just a flat fee. For them, it doesn't matter how far you live. So they're telling you it is going to be $3.32 out the door. Comes out to $4.61 an item. It is brand new, and here you can see the lot details, which is the manifest, and they even do you a solid and give you the ASIN, which if you're selling on Amazon, you know that that's one of the things we use. It's UPC or ASIN we use when we are trying to find what a rank is on an item. And I believe it'll take you right there. So I mean, it's doing the work for you. You can see that that particular item is this stapled pad, and it is going for $11.92 prime. So six, so it looks like there are 6 sellers at $11 and change. And if we just take a look at the average cost is $4.61, but I mean, obviously not a lot of profit there. So you would just go down each one, checking the ASIN. Currently unavailable, so obviously that means that they are out of stock. So you have to do a little more digging on that to see what it was selling for. And that's it. You go down and you cross cross the information to see if it's worth it, line by line by line. So yes, it's time consuming in its own way. Instead of you're going out and sourcing one by one, physically moving hangers and looking through shoes and electronics, you're doing it here by copying and pasting. So that is bulk.com. So that is just a really high level. I just wanted to give you guys a general overview. If you guys have any questions, or if you have another site that you are thinking about buying on, I'm happy to give you my opinion if it's a place that I have bought from. Actually, there's another one on here. If you Google liquidation. Sorry, my computer has been so slow, but it's called B Stock. That's another one that comes up right away when you do this. And that one I have not bought from, but I do get a lot of questions on that one, B Stock Supply. But I did just get access to it, but I have not actually bought from, and they have a lot of different categories too. So sorry for my computer being super slow. I've had technical difficulties. I think this laptop is on its last legs, but yeah, that's another one that I get a lot of questions on. And I have not bought from them, but they do buy from a variety of different companies, so that is good. And they do go over the condition. Oh, actually, one condition that I didn't go over was salvage. I actually used to buy salvage lots on purpose, and that was because they were so super cheap. And this was when I was kind of low on finances and I wanted to get stuff to my house, but I knew they were projects. They're always project, like fixing a button on jeans, or at one time I bought jewelry and it was just things that were missing the little clasp. So I had to put them on, but it was worth it to me. And those were all from Nordstrom. So again, it's a gamble. And that's something that you always have to wait if you want to try it or not. But this is literally my journey and how I got started. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Just let me know. I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you.